Well, it's no secret that Chuck Norris is politically active and a conservative. In fact, he was smart enough when he campaigned for me when I ran for president in 2008, and he regularly writes a column for townhall.com. Chuck and his wife Gina recently recorded a video message on why they think this is the most important election of our lifetime.
We are here to talk about a growing concern we all share. If we look to history, our great country and freedom are under attack. We're at a tipping point, and quite possibly our country as we know it may be lost forever if we don't change the course our country is headed.
Well, here to explain why he's so concerned about the direction of our country is Chuck Norris. Please welcome him. Good to have you here, Chuck. Welcome. They love you here.
Oh, I love them.
You and Gina have just put out a very provocative public service announcement that says this election puts everything on the line. What motivated you to say that this is the election of our lifetime?
Well, you know, one night Gina and I were talking and just talking about the future of our country. And, we felt that President Obama tried his very best. It just wasn't good enough. And the thing is, and it's the lack of experience. Like in any profession, you've got to be experienced in what you do. Like in acting, you've got to take a lot of acting courses, But the thing is that we need a leader that has the experience to lead us to the next 4 years. And so we realize that our freedom is in jeopardy in our country today. And so Gina and I sat down and wrote that speech in about 15 minutes. And so I was doing a Total Gym infomercial. And so we asked the producers, said, can we do this PSA? And he said, of course. So they filmed it for us that day, and that's where it started.
This week during the Democratic National Convention, when the big hubbub happened over the platform language and God was taken out, then put back in, what did that say to you as you watched all of that unfold?
Well, it just shows how they really think. That they have no reason to believe that God should be an integral part of our society. And, and Joe Biden, as he's given his speech, I gave him 4 Pinocchios because his nose kept getting longer and longer as he was talking. Joe Biden, I'm sorry.
You know what? He is a lot more afraid of you than you ever have to be of him. That is for sure. You regularly write articles that appear in townhall.com and other publications and on the internet. You've not been afraid to be politically active. One of your acting cohorts, Clint Eastwood, took a stand. Not many conservatives do, but you have. Why is it important to you to use the celebrity status that you have to say, look, I have some deep convictions about America, and here's what they are?
Well, I'm extremely worried about my children and my grandchildren. And the thing is, if we don't get off this course that we're heading right now, they're not going to have a future. We've been there and done that. But the thing is, our kids and our grandkids are the ones that we have to be worried about. And that's why I write these articles weekly, is that I'm so concerned about the future of our country. And that if we don't get going down we're at crossroads right now, Mike. And we can either go to the left path, which is uncontrollable government that dictates everything that goes on in our lives, or we can take the right path where we limit government and let us dictate what the government does. And that's really what my articles are all about.
You had a recent one in which you talked about 10 reasons why we shouldn't re-elect President Obama. What are some of those reasons? We may not get to all 10 of them, but a couple of them that come to mind.
Well, like I said earlier, the thing is I think he tried his best. You know, I don't think he was malicious in how he governs. It's just that it's not the right way, and I realize that. And he hasn't been successful. You know, the thing is, he said in his speech that I'm going to get 1 million jobs in the next 4 years. Well, we got 23 million people unemployed, and these are Democrats, Independents, and Republicans. And so I'm just saying to the Democrats, you know, you really need to search your heart. You know, and saying, do you want another 4 years of a man? Not forget about party politics. Do you want another man for 4 years who has not had the experience to govern these 4 years, to govern another 4 years? And I think if you look in your heart, you'll realize that it's not the right way to go.
If there was an important big issue that you feel overshadows everything else in this election as to why we should or shouldn't vote for Barack Obama, tell us what it is. You mentioned experience, but
yeah,
something that...
Well, you know, the thing is, what worries me, if he gets elected, we're going to have some U.S. Supreme Court justices retiring. And so that means that Obama is going to be putting in more liberal U.S. justices. And I think that's going to jeopardize our Constitution. It's going to jeopardize our Second Amendment rights for sure, because they will eliminate gun control in our country. And so this is what I'm extremely worried about, Mike, is that if Obama gets reelected, that's the direction we'll be going, and it really has me concerned.
You know, when you said about the Supreme Court justices, the entire audience, you could hear them audibly responding. I think a lot of people forget that that is one of the most permanent powers of a president.
Exactly.
So much of what he does can be undone, but that has long-term, generational implications and a very significant thing.
Well, like Ronald Reagan said, you know, 1,000 years of darkness. You know, everyone bringing that up. That was Ronald Reagan's statement, not mine. And but the thing is, it's true though. You know, if we don't get down the right path, we could enter a very dark period of our lives in this country, and that's extremely concerning to me, for my kids and my grandkids. I'm really concerned about that.
Well, Chuck, I'm so glad you're here. And by the way, I want to talk about a new movie that Chuck wants you to see. It's called The Last Ounce of Courage. Now, when Chuck says go see it, you better go see it. And the film star, Marshall Teague, is going to join Chuck and me right after the break. Stay with us.